started. Okay guys, we're going to get started. Thank you everyone for coming today. We had an awesome summer with 13 undergrads and 12 high school students that interned here at ISIS this summer. Before we jump, there's going to be two presentations today, one by each group, the undergrad and high school students. But before we get into that, Dr. Ted Bapty is going to give a few words about the internship program. And
So just like to welcome you all to ISIS. Glad to have everybody here. Pretty big turnout. I'm surprised how many people showed up. This is Institute for Software Integrated Systems. We are probably the best kept secret in Nashville. Not many people know who we are, what we do. We're a research institute here that does a lot of research for different industry, government, defense kind of projects, and support a lot of students and also a lot of other research going on here. We also have had a very successful internship program over the last couple of years. Brandon has done a fabulous job at coordinating that, and we're really very proud of what the interns have done, and I think you guys will be amazed at what they've accomplished in just a short amount of time, going from ground zero, both at the college level and the high school level. Let's see. I need to acknowledge the partners and the people who make this possible. So this is funded a lot by the National Science Foundation, provided the money for the internship, so they're certainly very important in this process. Metro Nashville Public School had fantastic support for that, and I know all the guys you've seen here are products of the school system, and I think they do Metro Nashville proud by what they can do and what they've accomplished. Vanderbilt and Lipscomb are also contributed students for the undergrad, and I guess we have UT as well. I think we got that off. And then got to thank the parents for all the support they have in getting your kids here and making that possible. And then BU and ISIS administration, Susan and her gang, providing all the logistics for this. So that certainly made this possible. And of course, I've already said Brandon here has really been doing a whole lot of work in coordinating logistics. There's just an amazing amount of work that goes into that. And then of course they were great interns, and I think you'll see their prospects or their products to work in a few minutes. So I don't want to delay it anymore from the real part why you're here. So yeah, thanks again for coming. Oh, another factor: if you need to use the restroom, there is a code on the restroom. You push number 1, number 5, and then enter it. We take our security seriously. So.
Okay. So before we get into the main event, we just have a little treat for you guys. Some of our interns have taken a time machine to get here, so we'll just take a quick look at that. As you see, Ted, who's just up here, is now here in a different form, as well as one more. All right, now we'll get into it.
Thanks, Brandon.
Yeah, you're welcome. Sorry. Okay, and the first group that's going to come up is our excellent group of high school students. Maybe we'll begin. Nolan, yep.
Good afternoon and welcome to the final presentation of the 2014 ISIS High School Interns. Thank you all for coming. As some of you may know, this is the second year of the high school intern program at ISIS. This program gives students that are interested in STEM the chance to work as engineers for the summer. This year's interns are from Martin Luther King, Hume Fogg, and Stratford. I'm Nolan Gross.
I'm Jonathan Stewart.
I'm Asha Ellsbury.
I'm Sydney Bales.
I'm Alex Staggs.
I'm Zach Bapsy.
I'm David Wong.
I'm Jack Oakley.
I'm Daniel Hong.
I'm Lucas Kaufman.
And I'm Bryce Johnson.
This summer, we were given the simple yet daunting task of improving bikes. From this idea, we focused on making the bike rider's experience safer and more modern. By doing this, we created bike safety lights and a bike computer. Instead of giving you a boring, lame presentation like the college interns might be, we decided to tell you a wonderful story.
Okay. Over the summer, some students from the local high school were asked to participate in a community service project of their choosing. One group of students was having a really hard time coming up with an idea for their projects, and the team leader was feeling a lot of pressure to finalize an idea. One day he decided to go down to his grandfather's workshop for some inspiration. His grandfather was both a do-it-yourself mechanic and a planner. His workshop was filled with to-do lists. Some were finished and some were not. One list he noticed, which was his grandfather's bucket list, was almost finished except for the last entry. To some, the last entry may seem out of place, but he knew that his grandfather had an issue with bikes. He had been in many bike accidents, and he could not even count how many. This gave them an idea.
The group then began thinking about their city's recent push to have a healthier lifestyle through biking. That afternoon, they got together and agreed that they could improve bike safety by adding turning signals, brake and wheel lights, and a rear-facing webcam. It seemed as if the possibilities were endless, so they came to a consensus and decided to design a bike where the rider could add and remove parts, making the bike flexible and modular to the rider's needs. They asked some of their friends to help them out, and each person brought a different skill to the group, such as soldering, programming, 3D modeling, and the desire to learn. However, they were missing a very important component. They needed a way to test the circuits before they went out and spent money on them, because as you all know, the average high schooler's part-time job only pays so much. So someone suggested that they reach out to the Institute for Software Integrated Systems, or ISIS. This institute shared their vision of flexibility and modularity and introduced them to a program that would let them test the functionality of their circuits before they went out and spent money on them.
Now that they had everything they needed, they were able to actually start working on the project. They started by building models of the different parts of the project on the computer. First, they built the electrical components and a program called LT Spice, introduced to them by the people at ISIS. In this program, they were not only able to build the electrical components, but test them to see if they would work in real life. Once they finished that, they started working on a CAD, or 3D visual model, of the cases they would use to house the different parts of their project. They used these models not only to see if it would fully assemble properly, but also to later make using a 3D printer. Once they knew that their design would theoretically work, they started working on the hardware. This included a lot of soldering and even more wiring. And of course, none of this could actually work without a program to tell the lights and the computer what to do. These programs were both very long and complex and took quite a while to make, to say the very least. But eventually they were able to finish everything and start working on their first prototype of both the LED lights and the bike computer. And although they were able to accomplish this, there was no shortage of difficulties. Things happen, and in this case, a lot of things happened. Sometimes programs didn't work. Often machines didn't work. And sometimes even people didn't work. But in the end, they were able to accomplish their goal of a fully functional prototype.
To the group's surprise, the community started to show a lot of interest in their project. A local bike shop named Microcycle was especially interested and wanted to help take the students' project to the next level. The students explained to the bike shop that their project was only in the initial prototype stage and they had a lot of improvements to work on before they released their product. First, they wanted to make their bike computer a lot smaller using custom microcontrollers and printed circuit boards. They also wanted to make the case a lot more easier to assemble and waterproof. They also had even farther reaching ideas such as web integration so that the user could upload all of their bike ride information to the cloud, allowing them to more easily track their progress. Adding a gyroscope would also allow the bike to record tilting and turning so that custom stationary bike workouts could be generated with the computer. The company thought this was an interesting idea and decided to that it was a worthwhile investment, not only because it helped make biking much more modern and safe, but that it would also provide a good educational benefit through project-based learning designed around their open source hardware and software.
Throughout the summer, we have faced many challenges similar to those that they faced in the story. The only difference is our bike is real.
This prototype includes a set of front and back wheel lights that displays different patterns and illuminates the bike at night. This allows motorists to see the biker in the dark. These lights not only